Kevin Feige told us it was going to be the most diverse and inclusive and representative Marvel ever. And they forgot to actually be interesting. They gave us a cornucopia of different looking people and cast members in these Marvel movies, but they got so interested in giving us a transgender black lesbian kind of thing or whatever, and they forgot to actually hire writers that didn't suck. They forgot to actually put a production team in place that didn't suck. They forgot to actually make a good movie. Fantastic Four, long-range forecast. Now, this is from Box Office Pro. And we covered Box Office Theory the other day because that's where Sean Robbins went. That's the guy who used to run Box Office Pro right here. He used to do all the tracking data. He's not there anymore. But Box Office Pro, they're talking about a 100-plus million opening for Fantastic Four. First steps. So let's read through this and see what they have, because we're going to kind of take in everybody's opinion here. We don't have any data yet from Deadline. We won't see that until a week from today. So by the time we do the Wednesday show next week, we'll have Deadline's own tracking data for this. So here we go. Long-range forecast for Fantastic Four. And again, this is from Box Office Pro. Marvel Cinematic Universe enters a new era with a rebooted Fantastic Four, which we expect to provide a much-needed course correction for the franchise following a series of mistakes that has seen the one-time box office juggernaut spinning its wheels. Can we theorize on what some of those mistakes are? I think we all know what they are. They went woke as hell. They went stupid. They made women boring, unattractive, ugly, uninteresting. They made the male characters a bunch of losers. Terrible, frankly, storytelling, which has been a hallmark of the Walt Disney Company lately. Nobody was interested in diversity, equity, and inclusion Marvel phases 4 and 5, which is not my assessment. That is what, as a reminder, studio head Kevin Feige announced to the world on the red carpet prior to the release of Shang-Chi, the first entry in Marvel Phase 4 back in September of 2021. Kevin Feige told us it was going to be the most diverse and inclusive and representative Marvel ever. And, well, they forgot to actually be interesting. They gave us a cornucopia of different looking people and cast members in these Marvel movies, but they got so interested in giving us a transgender black lesbian kind of thing or whatever, and they forgot to actually hire writers that didn't suck. They forgot to actually put a production team in place that didn't suck. They forgot to actually make a good movie. I digress. That's probably some of the problems. Is this going to fix it? Let's be honest. Is Pedro Pascal going to fix the MCU? Is he? I don't think Pedro Pascal is going to fix anything.
I want to remind everyone that this is absolutely not gay.
You're going to keep getting that clip until this son of a bitch goes away. Okay? Let's hope Pedro Pascal is the correction to those mistakes, right? They're projecting basically $100 to $125 million domestic opening weekend. Franchise has had a rocky start to the year, talking about the MCU, notching a pair of sub $100 million domestic openers with Captain America DEI, $88 million domestic, and $200 million, I think they mean global right there. And Thunderbolts, who, again, nobody cares about, nobody knows. If you thought it was a great movie, that's wonderful. Nobody cares. With a $74 million domestic opening and 189 global, or excuse me, those are the final run domestics, 189 domestic total, pardon me. I was thinking they were quoting global openings there. The old days of Marvel are gone, and a lot of people are putting a lot of faith that the Fantastic Four is going to reinvigorate Marvel. And as we continue to remind people The real problems here that are not being truly observed are the facts that this movie, this movie needs to be a massive blowout because there is not going to be another MCU movie in theaters for 18 months after Fantastic Four. Nothing. There are no movies between Fantastic Four and Doomsday that I'm aware of. Doomsday was supposed to come out summer of next year, May of next year, remember? And we kept saying that makes no sense. There's no way they can start filming Doomsday in May of 25 and have it released May of 26. That is impossible by virtually any studio standards, let alone the dysfunctional show that is Marvel Studios. They pushed it back to Christmas of 26. And I quickly pronounced my doubt that that movie would make it in time for Christmas of 26. And it may be a year from now before we hear that it's going to be pushed again, but it will likely be pushed. Again, 18 months from the start of principal photography to the release, even for a Marvel movie or anybody else, a movie of that scale is crazy. And remember, Disney is probably spending the combined GDP of all of Central America to make this Avengers Doomsday film. They spent $500-600 million a piece on Infinity War and Endgame. Don't tell me that this Doomsday movie in 2025 is not going to be approaching $1 billion by his lone ass self. And a lot of that is going to have to be reshoots, incredible reproductions on visual effects, post-production, all this kind of stuff, 2, 3, 4 times. I mean, I don't know. This does not seem like a good idea. But we'll find out. What do y'all think, though? Do y'all think that this is actually going to pull off $125 million? Is it going to do better or worse than Superman? That's what's going to be the measuring stick for this film. Is this going to do better or worse than Superman? And we've got a lot of votes in right now as far as Superman is concerned, and 57% of you guys out there watching say that Superman Weekend 2 is going to do over $60 million. Over. So there we go. I'm going to end that poll. I'm going to throw another poll out there right now. Bigger opening weekend. And this will be domestic only. Who will have the bigger opening weekend? Superman that clocked in around 122, 123 million. I think, did it get up to 125? It was close to it. Or will it be Fantastic Four? Which one of these movies is going to win? Right? We've got Fantastic Four that a lot of folks are putting in that. It's starting to really coalesce at this point. It's starting to really coalesce into everybody's gravitating towards 100 to 125 million. We're still roughly 10 days away. Again, we're going to have pretty solid data, or much more solid data, at least theoretically, by this time next week, when we do the live show next week on Wednesday. We might even have a little bit more update by Sunday. Although, look, deadline for me is kind of the bellwether. That's who I'm looking for. And they release tracking data the week of. So we'll probably see, I would bet deadline will have something out around Tuesday next week by the latest, I suspect. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.